Good evening, random viewer. And while this is the Nether and a fortress, this is entirely not what we're doing today, but it happens to be where I'm starting. But first, I'm going to introduce a little friend I have down this way. It's kind of hot. Say hello, Blaze. Ooh. I got a few friends here. Pardon me while I run away. So here we are back on the overworld side of the portal. This is my portal. I'm going to make it a little bit easier to get to. I've stuck it just across from the mine. Little landing platform here, and a clock. And this area will be the portal. Now, instead of just having a simple little portal room or a direct path, I decided to actually have a little fun with this. And we're going to turn it into a nature-based area. That's going to be what is going, the basic idea of what's going to happen. So it's going to take a bit of work. I have to dig out this entire area right here. So I'm going to get the basics of this dug out during a cut. That's going to take a little while. Don't want to bore you. We're going to have you listen to music the entire time I'm digging. So I'm going to get this dug and I will be back. Creative world, in order to show a prototype. That's the first one. This is the second one. And this is roughly what I'm going to attempt to try to do with how the shape of the room will come out. So it'll be a bit ovular with the portal at the end. And the hard part will be getting the grass. I'm going to turn the place into, as I said, a nature area. So there will be grass down here. If I use this as a layout, I'm intending to do something like a little bit of a creek running through the center, and then have like a little bridge going over from the door area. And then I'm going to see if I can stick a couple trees in here. And I'm going to be using the quite clear glass so that it will have this dripping effect. So it'll constantly look like there is a light drizzle inside the room. So that's the general idea of what I'm intending to do with this room. Let's see if I can make it turn out the way. The hard part will be getting the glass in, and then the water running around the outside. When I did this one in here in Creative, this took several buckets in order to make it work. So we'll see what happens when I try it in the real world. And with that, back to RxCraft. Alright, so here you're on the room. So I need to give a small progress update. So I've dug it out up to this point, and I've begun erecting scaffolding so I can actually get up to the upper levels of this thing once I get really going. And I blocked myself out. So I've got dirt going all the way around as a surround scaffolding. I placed darkwood slabs for the center section so I can hollow this out now. And now I get to do the top of the room. So still got a little bit of ways to go, but we're getting closer. I'll be back with you shortly. Alright, we are nearing the top of this room, as you can see here. Got a few more rows dug out. I've got glass cooking upstairs, so that will be ready once I'm done with the digging here. That should be one. And to make this all work, I'm using a tool that Amaros found called the Plotz Modeler. Nice little website that will show you the 2D and 3D views for spherical objects as it would be done with blocks such as in Minecraft. The page actually specifically denotes itself as for Minecraft. So apparently the person plays, I guess? I'm not sure. But it's a very useful page, so definitely a big thanks to the creator of that tool. I will have that tool linked in the description for this video if you'd like to use it. But I will check back in again once I start getting glass put into the walls. So we are now in the upper levels of the room, getting the glass put in place. It's coming along actually fairly quickly at this point. I've got sand cooking upstairs, so I got to switch this for a moment. So I'll have plenty of glass. And I've got cobblestone running through the sag mill so that I can convert it into sand or gravel, as that's the outputs you get from that. So we will have a bit more gravel, and we have plenty of spare sand, so I don't have to go and tear apart the desert outside quite yet in order to get the necessary sand for this build. Alright, go right down and give myself another pick. And as you can see, it's getting there. The hard part, I think, after this really is going to be tearing apart outside the glass, as that is going to be a bit more difficult. Once this is actually replaced all with glass up here, I get to go up above this, tear out the dirt and stone and cobble you see just outside the glass, right outside there, and then pour water on top of the entire thing. And it's being able to get up there in such a manner that I can actually get in, dig it out, and then pour in the water that is going to be quite difficult. So we'll see what happens when I actually get that far. But for now, back to placing glass. And the ceiling is done. So now I've got the glass structure up here. I get to go and find... Good job, Em. I get to go and find a way into the roof. Haven't quite figured out how I'm going to manage that yet. You can see exactly how high the room is compared to the next floor up. Maybe I can just dig a hallway that way in. Otherwise, I may end up going through like the wall over there where you see the cobblestone, as that is a little bit of hallway. Maybe I can just sort of scale my way up. I have to figure that part out in just a bit here. So I'm going to try to figure out how best to get into the roof of the room, and I'll be back. So digging in from the intersection room here, straight over this way, and I have found the ceiling of the room. Which means if I come down this way, I may have to choose a slightly different path for the hallway, as it's going to have to end up going either above this room slightly, or around it, or I may just have to dead end that hallway. So yeah, I've only got one block between here and the roof. So, not a whole lot of clearance in order to play with it, but at least I have the way into the ceiling now. So I get to dig this out so that I can actually begin pouring water. And this is going to take a while. So I'm going to just get this done, and I will be back after that.
So instead of doing my customary break to music for the time lapse, I decided to take this few minutes and have a little chat. So the build I'm doing here is based on ideas from actually a couple of different people. First, the initial idea came from Amaros and what he had done with his portal room with the cascading water and lava. The second idea came from a couple designs I've seen my friend Brandon Neely, aka Torhan, use in the past. Brandon did sometimes use unusual design methods, but were really nice. And as he's the one that originally introduced me to Minecraft and got me going in the game, I've taken a lot of ideas from him on how I do things. So general design, positions of things, where I go to build. I even learned initially quite a bit about redstone from him. So there's a lot of redstone aspects that I'll end up using from him. In the room here, he had begun in one of his worlds building a room somewhat similar to this, just much larger. So I'm actually using some of those ideas here. Now, as I said, Brandon passed away actually 6 months ago today. So this episode is a little bit harder for me to work with, simply because of the meaning behind it. This room will be dedicated to him. So in future episodes, if you see me coming out of a portal, you will see a sign mentioning him. Brandon was a friend of both me and Amaros. Amaros is actually who introduced me and Brandon, and since that time, back in 2000, Brandon has became one of my best friends. We found that we had many similar interests, and as a result, we would work on coding projects, technical projects, games, etc., and we'd be equally enthusiastic. And it was very unusual for me to find friends that I could actually find that much in common. And so, coming out to this point, I decided to do something that would be in line with what he might have done. So, for this episode, Brandon, here's to you. Beyond that, I am recording this after the rest of the episode. I'm here using a new microphone, a Blue Yeti. So hopefully this sounds better, and I'll be using this in episodes going forward. Outside of that, as you may have noticed, I've begun using a new intro, which I hope you all like. And also, beginning with this episode, I am using a closing just to have a bit better of an ending to the episode. But I think for now, I'm going to go ahead and break back to the rest of the episode, and we'll pick up after the water has been poured.
Alright, we have finished digging out around the glass. I've started putting water in. This, however, is the truly hard part. Let's see how much water I'm going to actually need to fill this place up. Erg. Come on. Swim against the current. Some projects require a lot of effort. Alright, so this one needs to go right there. Oops, need to get back out. Come on, come on! Alright. I think I missed a couple spots, but I'm going to have to go down into the room in order to really see it correctly. So let's get down there and take a look. Okay, so a few spaces still requiring. Let me fill them a little bit. That's interesting. Pick these guys up. Alright. Let me go finish that out, and then I'll be back once I have all the water flowing down over the sides of the glass. And there we are. I've removed the scaffolding, and the water is now flowing perfectly around the shell that I've now dug out. So there is step 1. Step 2 is doing a little bit of landscaping here. So now I've got to get some dirt in here and grass. So let me go grab some dirt in my grass block and get that put in place. Alright, I have the dirt all in. So, well, missed a spot. Almost all in. Yep. Boink. Alright. Make sure it's not too dark. It is a little too dark. Let's go there. I'm just going to light up area slightly more here. So now it's just going to be waiting for the grass to grow, because I need to have grass blocks rather than dirt blocks for this room to turn out how I want it. So going to wait this out and then can go into the next part of this. I think I put some lights up there. Anyhow, I'll be back shortly. Alright, the grass has grown, all except for this one little block over here. So, on to the next step. Let's see. I guess I'll start it from right about here. So what I'm going to do is have a 2-wide stream coming through the center of this room. Let's go ahead and get this guy dug out here. I'm going to take it over to right here. Well, there. And then weave it over a couple blocks, so it should end up ending somewhere around here. That was interesting. Alright, let's see. Going to weave you over a little bit. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, now we've got that in place. Now I just need to get a little bit of water to fill in that space. Come over here to my little fountain. Yes, I found a purpose for that thing. And stick some water in here. Wrong one. Right one. Do, 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 do. Oop. Surprisingly, grabbing that one is not as easy as it looks. And apparently I should have an extra bucket. Had one someplace. It vanished on me. Don't know where it went. I'll have to fix that at some point. Alright, so there's our stream. So I'm just going to take a moment to finish. Actually, I think I'm going to leave it like that for now, actually. So I'm going to need, actually, some wood, which is upstairs. So I will be right back. Alright, got some wood in. There's the first of the path. So now we're going to get a little bit of a pathway going over the little stream here. Yunk. Doot. Whoops. Doot. And I did not. Oh, yes, I did. Derp. Okay. These in place. I think the portal is trying to suck me in. Oops. Alright, now we need stairs. Actually, I'll need a whole bunch more in a bit here, but for now, just need these couple. Plunk. Plunk. Grab a few more. So we can finish out the bridge. Alright, now we just give a little bit of style here on the sides. Then it should be ready to go, that part at least. So what I'm going to end up doing with the bridge here is putting upside down stairs. Now it doesn't really show much from many angles, and sure you have to look at it from the side to really see anything. But what you'll end up seeing is it will step in toward the center, so it looks like a little bit of it has a little bit of a frame there. So the bridge kind of arches towards its center as it goes up. Then we're going to have fence running over the top. And I believe I should actually have plenty of fence posts up the stairs I can just grab and toss into place really quick. Oh good, my spruce. Yep, got plenty of fence posts here. So we can get the bridge archways built up as well. The archways take probably a little bit more effort here without using creative mode. Do it once in creative and you're like, alright, that's all it takes. Then you try to do it in survival and remember to add a couple steps. There we go. Did I bring any glowstone with me? Nope, it's all upstairs. So this is the archway that will be going over the bridge on both sides of it. Let's see, I don't think I'm going to be able to complete this one. Too high. Yep, ran out a little bit. Alright. So I'm going to go grab a bit more wood, get the rest of the bridge here finished out. I'll be back. Kind of funny, really. I was about to head upstairs to grab more wood so I can make fence posts. And so I realize I have a part of an abandoned mine that I'm about to disassemble and turn into a spider farm. Solved my post problem. I can just come back over here. Use up the remainder of my post there. There's that. Got the rest of the bridge built. And just need my glowstone neck. Alright, ran up and grabbed some glowstone, so now I can go ahead and put these in place. And I believe that should just about have us pretty well lit. So I'm going to remove the extra torches around the room. Let's check this spot. 9. Okay, got a couple 8s. Alright. Alright, that should... Oh, 1 extra. Alright. And you... I think I can get rid of you. That spot's a little dark. I'll light that up manually and then, for some time being. I'll have to figure that out. Maybe I can stick a light beneath the bridge. Maybe make that dirt block right there a glowstone or something. Now I'll come back to that. Next, let there be life. Alright. There we have a little niche area. Finish up the bridge. Okay. And one final touch. Keeping well that bone meal because I'm going to need it here in a moment. Grab one of... No, not you. One of you, and I'll try one of you, and one of you if I can't make you grow. Let's see if I can stick a birch in the confined space of this room. I know I can do an oak. I haven't tried a birch yet. So we'll stick this one right about here. Bone meal the crap out of it. Woo. Ran out of bone meal. I'll be right back. And there we have it. Got the 2 trees grown in. Had to trim this one a little bit. Might actually take it back just a little bit more. So that way the bridge pathway is fully uncovered. But that is our room. So now we have a nice nature area as you come out of the portal. So if I come over here, get rid of this fencing area here now. Oops. So as you come out now, you have a nice room to actually see right as you step out into the overworld. Instead of having a basic underground area, or just as it would have been since it was just a hallway before, actually has a pretty pleasant look to it. But that is all I've got for this episode. So if you liked this episode, please hit like. If you really liked it, please hit subscribe. And that's all for me. This is Terkanil, signing off.